Great. Welcome, everybody. I also put my Facebook group in the chat, and I go live every Wednesday at 2 Eastern with a free yoga class or talk about migraine and wellness. So if you haven't joined me there, would love to see you. Since it's a new year and maybe we have some new faces, though I see a lot of familiar ones, so great to have you. I'll just do a quick little intro and share, a little bit about why yoga is helpful for migraine, and learn a little bit more about me, but shouldn't take more than a minute. And then we'll get into our practice. And today we have lots of options. So for pretty much every pose, I'll show an option that you can do in your chair or on your mat or standing. So we can take it at whatever level you would like today. And I'll share. So here's my contact info. And so yoga, thankfully, is a very gentle form of exercise, but also mindfulness, which when taken together is very powerful for helping people with migraine. And I'll show you why. The primary benefit is that it activates the relaxation response in the body. Many of us with migraine have hypersensitive and hyperactive nervous systems, so the more that we can relax and send our brain messages of safety, the more our pain can decrease as well. Many of us also tend to store a lot of tension in our neck and upper body. That's very, very particular for people living with migraine, and so yoga is really helpful for helping to stretch and release that tension that accompanies migraine. It's also a very gentle form of movement, so I call it a great gateway form of exercise for people who struggle with consistent, exercise, like standard going to the gym sort of thing, because it's so adjustable for your pain level. And it is a mindfulness practice where we're practicing self-inquiry, we're observing our feelings, our body, our mood, and the more that we practice that mindfulness, the less reactive we can be to triggers in the outside and internal triggers as well. And then lastly, it's just an oasis of relief and feeling good, and the more that we experience feeling good, the more our brain learns to habituate to the sensation. And then a couple years ago, there was a big article that came out in Neurology that showed that people who practice 3 hours a week reduce their headaches by about 50%, and also their medication use. And this study was really the foundation for my group coaching program Beyond Migraine, because I help people practice 30 minutes a day, which ends up being about 3 hours. And I've also confirmed even actually greater results, that people have reduced their migraine attacks by 50% to 67%. So it really can make a difference for many people with migraine. And then finally, invite you to join that Yoga for Migraine Facebook group. I have lots of free resources and weekly live classes there as well, and that's in the chat. So as we get ready to practice, listen to your body, be gentle, and I'll be giving you many options, and it's not meant to be overwhelming, but it's there to help you find really the best choice for you and practice that sense of discernment of like selecting and giving yourself permission to take the best option. So let's do this. Okay, let me get myself ready with tech. And I'll be going back and forth between the chair and the mat, and you can pick the option that works best for you. So I'll start out in a chair. We're going to be seated. And if you're on the mat, maybe you're sitting on a folded blanket. If you're in the chair, sitting in the center, so you can sit up tall. Lift those shoulders and roll them back and down. And then if you'd like, you can close your eyes or find one point to stare at and focus on. And settling into your seat, the crown of the head lifting to the sky. So you're in a place of ease and alertness. And allow your energy and focus to turn inward, exploring your inner landscape, noticing what areas of the body feel more tense or stiff. And also noticing the areas that feel comfortable and relaxed. Notice how your energy is right now. If you're dragging and feeling tired or feel like you have high pumped up energy. And take note of your emotions, letting whatever is inside that you're feeling, just welcome whatever it is, whether positive or negative. And then notice the pace of your thoughts. They seem to be coming quickly, or you have some more space between your thoughts. And then bring your awareness to your breath. And let the breath be whatever it is. You don't need to change anything. Just feeling that pleasant ebb and flow of the breath. Noticing where you feel it the most. In the belly or chest, or maybe the throat or nostrils. And just follow it for a few rounds. Enjoying the pleasant sensation of the breath. And bring your hands together, palms touching at the heart, and connect to your intention for your practice today, something that you want to cultivate, to deepen, to brighten inside, that would help you feel more at ease, more at peace. And we'll bring back that intention through our class today. When you're ready, let's open up the eyes. And we'll come into some shoulder rolls. So we'll start rolling the shoulders back and down. And here's where you can choose to make this as big as you want, or maybe a little smaller. You can use your whole arm. Listening to what feels good for you today. You can make it slow or fast. Do one more that direction, and now switch. So maybe it feels good to start small. Maybe you want to just go big. Noticing each direction, each side, a little bit different. Allowing your neck and shoulders to relax as you Open up here. Let's do one more. Very good. And now connecting our breath and movement together, we'll inhale, arms up, and hands touch at the top. Maybe you look up, and exhale, draw it back down to your heart. Good, a few more like that. Inhale, arms up, maybe gaze up or forward. Exhale, draw it back into the heart. Inhale, open to that intention for yourself. And exhale, draw it into the heart. Inhale, open. Exhale, draw it in. Last one, inhale up. And exhale, bring it in. And then in between our poses, we'll take opportunities to just shake it out a little bit. Even if you're seated on the mat, you can do this. And then we'll add some horse blows. These help release the jaw and any stress in the neck. So we're gonna just let our lips blow like a horse. And let's do one more. Good. So I'll move down to the mat just to show different options, but if you're in the chair and you're happy there, you can still do exactly what we'll be doing next. So we're going to move our arms up and to the side. So it'll look like this. Our arms will come up on inhale, and then exhale, we'll twist to one side and look down. Inhale, come up, and exhale, let it fall to the other side. So play with this, make it your own. Maybe you want to go big and fast. Maybe you want to keep it a little more reserved and intentional. Letting yourself twist back and forth. You can keep your head up and just twist the arms. You can bring your head way into it and let it really drop to each side. Maybe the breath becomes a little more forceful as you fall down. One more each side. And then come on back to center. Bring yourself to stillness. Check in. Notice how that brings up a little more energy inside. And then we're going to go into the neck. So either seated or on the chair. We'll be turning our head side to side with one breath up and down, and then we're going to switch the breath. So it'll be a little bit of a brain teaser as well. So let's inhale with our head center. Exhale, look over to your left. Inhale, center. And look over the right shoulder. Inhale, center. This time we're going to look up any amount. That feels good on inhale. And back, and then back to center on inhale. And then exhale down. Inhale, center. Exhale, left. Inhale, center. Exhale, right. Inhale, center. If I change the breath, we're going to just go with it. Inhale. And back to center. And chin to chest. And back to center. Relax your breath. I think I got off. It's all good. This time we're going to exhale, center, and then inhale, side to side. So exhale here. Inhale to the left. Exhale, center. Inhale, right. Exhale, center. Inhale, up. Exhale, center. Inhale, down. exhale, center. One more round. Inhale, left. Exhale, center. Inhale, right. Exhale, center. Inhale, up. Exhale, center. Inhale, down. And exhale, center. All right, we all got a good brain tease there. So I'll show a twist that you can do in your chair, and I'll show you how it would look on the mat as well. But in our twist, we're going to bring our hands on, I'll take hands to the right to begin. So left hand comes to the outside of the right thigh, and the right hand can press on your chair. Maybe you hold on to the back of the chair or the top of the chair. So you've got some options. And you can keep your gaze center or look over the right shoulder. And if you're in your chair and you stay there, if you're down on your mat, you might be cross-legged. And then left hand to right knee, right fingertips behind you. So this twist is a nice place to play with how far do we want to go? And maybe coming a little bit closer to that edge in yoga of being challenged, but knowing that you can come in and out, playing with how far you want to go. And then we'll stay for 3 more breaths. And just working the challenge of staying in the pose longer. And on your next exhale, slowly unwind. And then free play time, whatever you need to do to kind of unwind from that. Maybe you need to just round the spine or shake it out, wiggle. And then we will switch. So I'll start on the mat, but if you want to just go for it on the chair, I'll get there too. So right hand to that left knee, left fingertips behind. I'm inhaling, lengthening on the way up. Exhale, twisting any amount more. Twisting from the upper back more so than the low back. In our chair. Right hand on the outside of the left thigh and left hand to the side of the chair. And you can play around with where you look. Maybe the head stays center, or for a little bit more, you're looking over the left shoulder. And as we stay in this pose, you can feel like you have the choice to go as far or as reserved as you'd like here. You can play with twisting a little more, knowing you can come back out and go back and forth. But we're also sending our brain these messages that we're strong, that we don't always have to hold back, that we can test out the waters of more challenge. On your next exhale, come on back to center. And if you need to shake it out, do a couple cat and cows, go for it. Okay, let's do a bit of a strengthening pose, chair pose. So if you're already in the chair, this is how it will look, and then I'll show a standing version as well. So if you're in your chair, come towards the very edge here, and feet are parallel, and the first edge of intensity is just to fold at an angle here. So you're feeling your core engaged slightly. Maybe your thighs are engaging. You could put hands on hips. You could put hands at your heart. You could do a cactus. Lots of choices. Or maybe arms up. If you're in chair and you want to try a little more, you're going to lean forward more, maybe starting to bring more weight forward, maybe lifting the seat actually off the chair. So stay with that, working your edge and challenge. And if you're standing, you're hinging forward, bending the knees, and staying here or here, here. Breathing into the intensity, knowing that you can pull back. You could go ahead again and feel your intention starting to build here as well as we bring some more intensity into what we're feeling. Knowing you can change your arms if they get tired. 2 more breaths here. And then if you're standing, you'll straighten out, and if you're seated, you can just relax, maybe straighten out your legs here, shake it out. Let's get some more horse blows going. Good. Okay, so we'll do one more restful pose, and then we'll do our Shavasana. So this is where we get to pick your version of child's pose. If you're in the chair, here's what it could look like. If you have a desk in front of you, that would be kind of the first option, that you can just rest your hands on your desk. But you could do something similar at the back of your chair and walk your feet back and rest. I also played around with going backwards on the chair, which actually gives you a little bit of a hip opener as well, and then rest there. Lots of choices. You get to play and find the best one. And if you want to just go for the mat version, we're coming down with our big toes touching, knees wide, and then walking yourself forward till your forehead rests down. You can have arms ahead of you. You can fold your forearms here as well. And we will take a minute here to rest. Connect back to your intention, how you want to feel, how you want to grow from this practice. Feel the breath, even into the low back. Child's pose is one of my go-to poses, especially on a higher pain day, which I am lucky to have today. Not so lucky, but yoga always helps. Two more breaths wherever you are. And then when you're ready, walk yourself back up to seated or standing. And for our final resting Shavasana, you can lie down. You can do this in bed, on your couch. I typically like to have a blanket for my head or a pillow. But if you want to do it in the chair too, get your recliner and you can, just lean back and relax there. So whatever is most comfortable, where you can just tune out for the next few minutes, find your comfortable place to rest here. Adjusting yourself and settling into stillness. Let it all go. Giving the body permission to release any holding that's still lingering. Allowing the body to feel heavy. Soften the forehead, eyebrows, eyes, soften the cheeks, and the jaw. Relax even the ears, the scalp. Let your brain be heavy at the back of the skull. The eyeballs sink to the back of their sockets. Allow the teeth to part. The tongue relaxes back. Soften both sides of the neck. For the next few moments of silence, just be. Now begin to deepen the breath and bring some movement into your fingers and toes. If you're laying on the ground or on anything, you can gently roll to one side. If you're in your chair, maybe just begin to sit up a little taller. And then push on up to a seated position. So I'll bring our hands back together at your heart. Connect back to your intention for yourself. Wish that intention for you. And then send that wish for growth and healing to everyone else here joining us live or whoever might come upon this video in the future. Wishing them all well. And I thank you all for being here and taking care of yourself. The more that you can take care of yourself, the more we all benefit when you are well. So, bowing to each other, thank you all. Thank you all.
Thank you.